For more analysis, let's now turn to Charles Kuck in Atlanta. He's an immigration attorney and adjunct professor at Emory University's School of Law. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me today.
Well, first I want to get your reaction to what we're seeing right now at the U.S.-Mexico border.
I thought your reporter did an excellent job of actually telling the truth about what's going on here. Title 42 is a health law. It's not an immigration law. It's never designed to be an immigration law at the level that we've seen it for the last 3 years. And at least one political party keeps suing Biden, who wanted to end this 2 years ago and go back to the use of Title 8, our actual immigration laws. The reporter noted that a lot of people have received basically wrong information about what the end of Title 42 means. He's right. Title 42 means that we're going to start deporting people back to their home countries. So they're not going to be able to pay the debts that they've incurred, and they're not going to be able to stay in the United States. This is a crisis of the making of Title 42. And I think what we'll see over the course of the next 30 to 60 days, we will stop seeing the influx of people at the levels we're seeing it, because word will get out. America is not open. Use legal means to come here. And that's why I think Biden has been trying to get back to Title 8 for the last 2 years, because he knows, the whole administration knows, if Title 42 is return people to Mexico and they can come back the next day with no consequence, then of course, why wouldn't you try? But once Title 8's in effect and people are being deported with a 5-year bar, being sent back to Venezuela or Peru or Colombia or Nigeria, you will see a swift reduction in the number of people attempting to come illegally.
Right, because there is a lot of confusion there at the border. The Secretary of Homeland Security, as we mentioned, is saying today that the border is not open. There's a process that has to be completed. Why has there been so much confusion, and why is the message not getting across? Where does the disconnect happen?
Social media. You know, unfortunately, governments don't really control social media, at least in the United States. And social media has been used to present a lot of false information about how people can come to the United States. This idea that Venezuelans, who President Biden opened up a special program for 2 months ago and said, look, if you don't use this program and you come, you can't get asylum here. And yet they keep coming because they're told on social media, that's okay, they'll let you in. Now, who's spreading that? Cartels are spreading that information. People making money on the process of spreading that information. And unfortunately, the U.S. government has been unable to combat that massive amount of misinformation. But that word will get out once people start getting deported and the planes started getting unloaded in different countries around the world with all the people who have been denied entry to the United States.
Do you think we'll see this process, the expiration of Title 42, moved? Could we expect any legal challenges? Is that something that could happen?
Well, we know the Attorney General of Florida is trying to sue the Biden administration to actually keep Title 42. If you keep Title 42, you keep the current crisis. And there are, of course, some advocacy organizations trying to stop some of the what many argue are illegal immigration provisions that the Biden administration is rolling out in the context of forcing people to apply in a third country before they get here. That's clearly contrary to the law. That may very well be stopped. But that doesn't stop the effectiveness of Title 8 and the ability of the Border Patrol, once you present your claim for asylum and you're found not to have a credible claim, you will be deported. Keep in mind, the Biden administration is sending 1,000 asylum officers to the border as of today. They're going to have thousands of appointments every day to interview people at the border. And most of those people are not going to have valid asylum claims. They're going to be detained. They're going to be put in detention centers. They're going to be put on airplanes, and they're going to be sent home. Within 30 to 60 days, we will be talking about something else, because this is going to dissipate.
Well, it might dissipate, but what does this do for the long-term immigration issues? As we also know that there are elections coming up in both countries. Does this solve anything at all?
No, this solves nothing, because the only thing that can solve the immigration problem in America is Congress. If we have a better legal immigration system, nobody is coming illegally. The problem that we have in America is we're relying on an immigration system created in 1990. We don't use anything from 1990 anymore, from our cell phones to our computers, and we shouldn't be using that same immigration system. Until Congress gets together and puts into place an effective, employment-focused immigration system, you're going to have illegal immigration. America, we sit in a situation with a booming economy. We have 5 million more open jobs than we have people looking for, and we have no bodies to fill them. What do we think's going to happen? Fix the legal immigration system, and you end this problem for a very long time.
Immigration attorney and law professor Charles Kuck breaking it all down. Thank you so much for explaining that all to us. We appreciate it.